What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first trading day of the year. It's in the books. It's done. This year is going to be the best year of our lives to date. All right. So clearly you can see the SPY closed very bullishly. I alerted that I was getting into some swing positions in the three indices. And in today's video, we're going to go over the three indices. We're going to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're going to have to talk about OPEC because we're going to talk about crude oil. Sorry, because OPEC has meetings tomorrow. So it's going to be very important to also take a look at crude oil. So without further ado, let's do this. All right, let's start the video off with crude oil. So basically, crude oil tends to start doing really well January into mid-February. And then once mid-February happens, it basically is supposed to rally until summer. So essentially right now, the reason tomorrow's meeting for OPEC is going to be interesting is because Saudi Arabia increased its prices of oil to the United States and Asia, which is, the two biggest clients that they have. So it's going to be very interesting to see how tomorrow, whether or not basically the demand for crude oil, if they say that there is a lot of demand, it's basically going to be dependent on how many barrels that they're making versus how much supply that they have and how much demand, essentially. So, yeah, man, basically, if we continue increasing prices of crude oil, but we don't have enough demand for it, then there's not going to, the price of crude oil is not going to continue increasing. And one of the reasons why it even got this high to begin with is because of the coronavirus and the Omicron, scare. So essentially, if we aren't responding to the new variant in a huge negative way, then people are saying that crude oil will not, skyrocket as much. So yeah, we're throwing that in the air. Let's see what happens. Right now, from a technical standpoint, however, we can see that the MACD is falling, yet crude oil price is increasing. So that is a very, very bullish technical indicator sign. And this is basically playing out on all three major indices. So we can see that the RSI is moving up slightly, which is another good sign. So technically, we have two reasons to be bullish on crude oil in the short term. So a lot of these other crude oil stocks should be bullish as well. This is a pretty decent move. And tomorrow, essentially, we just need to see what the news will be. And if crude oil starts to skyrocket and starts to do really, really well, then the SPY will also start to do really, really well, most likely, because the SPY has crude oil and oil-related stocks in its basket. So it's going to be very interesting to see. So there's crude oil. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY. All right, here is the SPY. Very, very, very nice bullish move. We did fall a bit lower heading into the day, but then we quickly bounced. And now, not only did we close above this entire, the open and close of the candle, we ended up closing above the high of yesterday's candle. Not only did we end up closing above yesterday's high, we closed above a very important trend line that I was monitoring, which is this 476.80 level, which is essentially 477. So because I saw that we were closing above 477, I went and alerted that I was getting into swings on Twitter. And this is very, very bullish for multiple reasons. Number one, similar to crude oil, the MACD is falling, yet we're breaking above multiple levels of resistance. That's always a really, really good sign. When that happens, you have to blindly take into calls. I mean, you have to, there's no reason to be bearish when something like that is happening. If tomorrow we end up falling, then, it is what it is. But success rate wise, the numbers, right? The numbers are on our side, and it's in our favor to go long when these conditions are met. We closed above yesterday's high. We're showing divergence in the indicators, and it's super strength. We're closing above multiple levels of resistance. So yeah, the SPY looks very, very strong. And if crude oil becomes, if we get good news out of crude oil, this can push into new all-time highs tomorrow. So I definitely did not want to be short heading into such a strong move, potentially. We're long, baby. So until we see a difference in the Fed's interest rates or in their tapering rules this year, we're going to continue being bullish. So yeah, the SPY, super bullish, and we're in multiple calls. And there's the analysis for the SPY. Now we should definitely take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, this is really, really strong as well. You can clearly see that we held this level of support at 396.78 very, very well. We came back and tested basically 10 cents away, and that held, and we basically bounced the entire day afterward. We closed above yesterday's high as well. We closed above all of these prior candles, which is great. Yeah, so now essentially the next important levels of resistance are these 402 and 403 levels here. Overall, same concept. The MACD is falling, yet the price is increasing. So when this is falling, generally the price of the stock is also supposed to be falling, right? But the fact that this is bullish, the price is going up, yet the indicator is going down, that is extreme strength. Okay, so because we see that extreme strength, that's why I alerted the swings. That is very, very bullish, basically, right? And also because we held this level of support really, really well, and because the SPY closed above that level of resistance and that trend line. So there were multiple reasons to be very, very bullish heading into tomorrow. And I just need, I mean, when life is giving you lemons, you make lemonade. So, yeah, man, this is the NASDAQ. It looks really, really bullish overall. The only issue is that we closed literally at this level of resistance at 402.02. And what I would have wanted to see is a close above this level of resistance. That is the only thing that I'm a bit worried about for the NASDAQ. We just closed at the level of resistance perfectly, and that's not the best sign, but it is what it is. We have to take those positions, and when, yeah, man, we see what happened and the way that we closed, you just have to close your eyes and hope for the best sometimes. Yeah, there's the analysis on the NASDAQ. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the IWM. All right, here's the IWM. The name of the game is bullish on everything. So we held yesterday at 222.40 perfectly as support. The only issue now is, so look, clearly we closed above multiple candles, and the only thing that we didn't close above are these wicks here, right? These two wicks, but we closed above all of these other candles so far. So this was a very, very bullish day as well, right? The MACD here is starting to curl upward. On the IWM, you can see it's starting to curl upwards, whereas on the SPY and the NASDAQ, they're still pointing downwards, right? So that means that the IWM is beginning its upward move. Essentially, the momentum is shifting upwards. You could also see that from the RSI is pointing upwards as well. Now, the only issue is that the IWM failed to cross above 226.61, which is another very, very important level of resistance. If we can close above that level, that is going to be very, very bullish. So essentially, we took this signal that the SPY and essentially the SPY was very, very strong. So I went and I alerted swings in all three of the major indices. All three of the major indices. And really, I just want to capitalize on all the moves. So yeah, overall, we're just very bullish on everything. Until further notice, because it's been working out so well the entire year. There's no reason to be bearish until we see a reason to be bearish, right? But currently, we clearly see multiple reasons to be bullish. So there's no reason to really overthink and have like mental battles and hurdles. Oh, what if this is just bullish because no, all right? If you see multiple reasons to be bullish and it's wrong, it is what it is. You move on. But because you had precautions and you waited for multiple reasons to be bullish, and then you became bullish, that's all you can ask for. Anyway, 226.61 needs to close above on the IWM. Overall, very, very bullish day. We consolidated a bit for a few days right here, and now today it looks like we're breaking out. So if we can continue on upward, it would be great, because historically, January is almost always outperformed in the market. The IWM outperforms. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the IWM can start, getting its butt in gear. And yeah, hopefully these calls work out. And it's going to be a very, very interesting few days. The Santa Claus rally technically ends tomorrow as well. So we still have one more potential bullish day tomorrow for the Santa Claus rally to end. So yeah, just to keep that in mind as well. The Santa Claus rally is the last 5 days of the year and the first 2 days of the new year. So tomorrow is going to be the second day. So yeah, we need to see if that happens. And today I was also watching to see if we would close above 225, 226. We closed basically right in the middle. And again, that's really, really bullish. So yeah, the indicators are showing some strength. The candles are showing some strength. The other two indices are showing some strength. So overall, very, very bullish day. Let's see if tomorrow we can continue on and break above these levels of resistance. There's my analysis on the SPY, the IWM, the NASDAQ, and crude oil. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, here's Bitcoin. You can see lots of trend lines, blah, blah, blah. Don't get flustered. I just want you guys to see this right here. So the MACD is pointing upwards. So in general, when the MACD is pointing upwards and we're bouncing from extremely oversold, what should be happening is the price of Bitcoin should be also moving upwards. Now, we can see clearly that the price is not moving upwards, yet the MACD is continuing to move up. So that is very, very bearish, and that is really not a good sign at all. It basically begs the question, if this level does not hold, this 45,787 level does not hold, then we're going to come back and retest these two support levels here. Basically what I've been saying this entire time. From here, it's going to be very interesting. Basically, if these fail and if the indicators still look really crappy, Bitcoin can end up falling much, much lower and break below these trend lines here. And then, potentially even head into the high 30s. And then from there, that would be the maximum pain, essentially, to retail traders. That would mean that January would not be bullish. That January, all of the retail traders essentially are hoping for a repeat of a bullish January, a bullish beginning of the year. But if Bitcoin fails these levels here, then, it would solidify the grip that hedge funds and banks are now having in the space, and it would cause people a lot of pain and make people lose a lot of money. So essentially, Bitcoin, it doesn't look too good, purely because of this indicator scheme that we see right here. The RSI is also falling while the MACD is crossing upwards and the price is falling. So this is not bullish at all. You can see that it's at 46,000 right now. We had a huge green day the other day. We closed above 47,610, and we just failed again at these resistance levels right here. And it's just clear as day. This is not bullish at all. And because Bitcoin's not bullish, the entire market essentially is not going to be bullish. So yeah, essentially we're looking for downward targets of 44 and 45,000 for Bitcoin. I've been saying that since all throughout here. I've been saying 44 and 45,000 were downward targets. So it looks like soon that might end up being tested. So there's my analysis on Bitcoin. Now we have to take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum technically looks even more terrifying because it's almost crossed above on the MACD, which is supposed to be very, very bullish. Basically, it's like imagine the RSI is oversold on a stock and we're bouncing out of oversold, which is supposed to be very bullish, right? Because usually people look for oversold on the RSI as like a nice buying opportunity. So now, okay, imagine Bitcoin or Ethereum was oversold right here and we buy it, but the price keeps falling even though the RSI is bouncing upwards. That's literally exactly what's happening, and that is terrifying. because it basically means that Ethereum can see much, much lower prices very quickly. And the same concept for Bitcoin. So you can see that it's retesting this downtrend line, right? But now, you know, this can, I mean, look, we basically worked off of this entire oversold condition while still falling. So this is not good. 3677 is literally, like, I mean, that's really going to be a very, very important level to hold. If that fails, then we're going to come back and retest this 3592. And then from there, you know, we're going to come back and retest these lows over here from this wick at approximately 3481. And this is, you know, once we start breaking lower and lower, again, you know, Bitcoin doesn't look too bullish. Ethereum doesn't look too bullish. So those are the two big hitters in the space. And if both of them are not looking too good, then the rest of the market is not really going to look too good either. What we're going to have to be doing is looking for stronger coins that are very, very bullish that can help lift the rest of the market up. And essentially, that's what we're going to be looking for. In 2018, when Bitcoin was around 3,000 or 4,000, essentially, Litecoin was the coin that brought Bitcoin out of its bear market. Litecoin began moving a month before Bitcoin was taken out of its bear market. And yeah, now essentially I think we have to look for high level coins that can basically help lift the rest of the market out of this downtrend. So right now, yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum do not look bullish. There's still tons more room to the downside. There's still tons more room to the downside for even, you know, Solana as well. You know, this is not a bullish situation for any of these coins. So yeah, essentially just be very careful, wait, be more patient. This market is not going anywhere. So just be patient, wait for the setups to come to you. And it's going to be a very, very nice year. This is literally just the first trading day of the year. Don't get, you know, too overwhelmed. Don't get, you know, impatient. Take a deep breath. We're going to make a lot of money this year, and it's going to be a spectacular year. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for all of your love, your support. I really appreciate you guys so much. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel and put on post notifications, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.